Hello everybody, it's Joe Man once again from James River Homebrewers, and today we're going to talk about how to make a tincture. Some of the items you're going to need is something to tincture with. Today I'm going to use rosemary and basil. You'll also need a glass jar of some kind. I've got a mason jar for one, and if you don't have a mason jar, you can use a fluted glass, something that you can get a rubber band around, which is why I have the rubber band down here. You'll also need some saran wrap if you're using the glass type, and then you'll need some clear grain alcohol. Today I'm going to use 80 proof vodka. It is best recommended to use 100 proof vodka, but this is what I've got, so I'm going to go with that today. I'm going to get everything set up and show you what's up next. Okay, so we went ahead and chopped up all the herbs there, and we've got them in the jars. The next thing we want to do is we want to add some of the vodka and get it just enough to cover those herbs. The vodka is going to work as a solvent to kind of break down the flavor components that are in it. And that's what's going to make our tincture. So once we get these covered up, fully immersed in the alcohol, then we'll cover up the tops with the lids. About like so. And we'll get the lids on those and shake those up, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so we got everything in the jar sealed up. We've shook it for a couple minutes, and we're going to let this thing sit for about 3 weeks. Now, if you're making a beer, your typical primary and secondary fermentation takes about 3 weeks, so it's perfect for you to make your tincture right at the beginning of or at the end of your brew day. That'll give it just enough time to pull all the flavor components out so you can add it to your beer or beverage. So I've got these two set. I'm going to set them aside, let them wait for about 3 weeks, and we'll come back to it. Okay, we've had our tincture in the jars for 3 weeks now, and you can see the color has drastically changed. Since we put it in. That's the alcohol working as a solvent to pull all those flavor components out. And now we're ready to bottle or store this. I'm not ready to use it because one of these is going into a mead that I'm making and the other one's going into a beer. So I want to be able to store it. So some things you'll need is a glass container to transfer the liquid portion in there. Some type of strainer. You can use coffee filter. I prefer this metal tea bag holder. You'll need a funnel to then, again, of course, put it into the glass jars. Now, I've also got a spoon here. What I'm going to do is when I put the organic matter in here, I'm going to squish it down a little bit to help get that liquid completely out so I can get all the flavor components. So I'm going to set that up and show you what that looks like in just a second. Okay, so I went ahead and did the basil, and when I opened it up, it was just an amazing smell. And I almost wanted to drink it on the spot. It smelled so great. But what I'm doing now is just kind of giving this organic matter a little squeeze just to help get the rest of that liquid out of there. And then what I'm going to do is run it through the funnel into the bottle, and I've got little caps here. I'm going to cap it up. Pretty much it on making a tincture. So if you guys want to give it a shot, please feel free to do so. The amounts that you're going to use is going to depend upon the herb itself. So do a little research. A lot of folks take the bottles and just add a little bit at a time to like a pint or to a quart, and then just kind of multiply it out and try to figure it that way. What I like to do is, do some test tastings before I actually add it to make sure it's actually going to work, because I've done both of these in test tastings in the mead, and by far the basil is superior in flavor for my mead. So, but once you decide what to use and how much to use, just make sure you take good notes, write it down, and have fun with it. Thanks for watching the video. Leave some notes behind if you'd like. Thank you.